right, I am back. What's up, everybody? So, today we're going to be talking about why you're not seeing results in the gym. Why is that? Well, just to jump right into it, first one could be you're not dieting right. You're not eating right. You go to the gym, you work out hard, and then you eat like shit. Or you snack like shit. A lot of the times it's snacking. A lot of times people will be like, "Oh, I'm not cutting this weight, and I know that I've been just snacking a lot at night." Cut it off. Say, you know what? After 7 p.m., I'm done eating. I'm done. Eat your 3 meals, be done. Another could be if you're trying to lose weight, it could be cut out as many carbs. So like don't have so much pasta, potatoes, heavy carbohydrates. Those are gonna put on size. Um, that's for if you're losing weight. If you're trying to gain weight, add that. So if you're not seeing, you know, gains in your muscles, well then you got to eat more carbs, more protein, and be consistent. So, that's with both weight loss and weight gain. Be consistent. And that's be consistent with your nutrition, be consistent with your exercise, and be consistent with your sleep. Regardless. I mean, sleep is going to burn fat and also gain muscle. It's insane. Sleeping is insane. If you can take little power naps, that's even better. But back to the nutrition side, right? Just like I was saying, be consistent, right? Now, over to exercise. What is the reason why you're not seeing results in the gym? If you dial out that it's not nutrition, that you're doing pretty good on nutrition, which 8 times out of 10, you're not doing good on your nutrition, okay? So you need to get that right. Now, to exercise. This is something that actually is really important because a lot of people, A, don't actually push themselves hard enough, or B, they aren't doing proper mind muscle connection when they're doing certain exercises. They're not doing proper eccentric, proper concentric movements, not doing full range of motion. Look at Dr. Mike. He talks about that stuff all the time about building muscle. And if you're going for endurance, you're not loading properly. So if you look at ultra endurance athletes, the way they train, they do 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off, or 5 minutes on, 1 minute off, or there's a ton of different ones. I'm not 100% certain on that, so don't take my word, but what I do know is the loading phase, right? This all takes patience, but it also takes hard work. So don't expect going into the gym like, oh, I'm going to lift a couple little weights and then I'm going to get big, or oh, I'm going to lift a couple little weights for a good amount of reps and then I'm going to lose a ton of weight. No, that's not how that works. You're talking, if you really dialed in, right? If you really, really dialed in, you were 100% like, I'm going to do this, you would see results within like 6 to 8 weeks, genuinely. If you really just dialed in. A lot of people just don't dial in. I don't even dial in all the time. I kind of go with what feels good for me because I've been doing it for so long. And obviously I'm not like super strict because I'm not doing any bodybuilding or anything like that. And I'm not trying to lose weight, and I'm not really trying to gain weight here soon. I'm going to be trying to gain a little bit more weight, so I'm going to be more focused on my nutrition. And then with my nutrition, I'm going to be able to work out harder, right? If you're overweight too, you have excess stores of fat, so most likely your body can actually push out more than you realize. You're just out of shape. So as you build up your cardiovascular endurance, you're slowly going to be able to increase your power output. So without having to eat as much because you have so much extra visceral fat. Now, for people who are trying to gain weight and trying to gain muscle and they're skinny, well, realistically, all you have to do is eat more, A, and work out harder, or just start working out, right? I think, in my opinion, that this is a really tricky topic because a lot of people ask like, oh, which one's harder to do? Is it harder to lose weight or is it harder to gain weight, right? And like gain muscle. And I honestly feel like gaining muscle when you're skinny because it does take a long time to gain solid muscle. When you put in the hard work when you're overweight and you really dial in on your nutrition, the weight sheds off really fast. I mean, there are some ways you can shed weight really, really fast. Not quite healthy, but really fast. Now, gaining muscle, you can't gain muscle super, super fast. There's no like 5 pounds in 1 week. Like, that's unheard of unless you're injecting freaking Trenibol and freaking testosterone at a ridiculous high amount. So, realistically, you're not going to be gaining 5 pounds of muscle in freaking 1 week. That's just not going to happen. Now, you could lose 5 pounds of fat in 1 week. It's not going to be exactly healthy, but actually, well, the recommendations for actually wrestlers, if I'm correct, is the most they can knock off is I think like 6 pounds per week, which is freaking nuts. If I'm correct, if my knowledge serves me correctly. I'd have to look into that a little bit more. But, yeah. So, going into the exercise aspect, because the nutrition aspect it really isn't that hard. A lot of people overthink it, and they're like, what should I eat? What do I do here? No, just fucking eat, like, lean, good shit for you. Like, it's really not that hard to stop eating fast food. Stop eating, like, the processed shit in the freezer aisle. Like, start eating real food, like food that you look at and you're like, you have to cook that shit. You have to cook it. It's not just gonna like sit there and cook itself. You're lazy. You're being lazy. You're settling for mediocrity. So you're literally settling for fucking, ease of access. No, this is your life. Stop paying for fucking bullshit food that you're going to fill your body with and it's going to fuck up your gut and add fat to you and make you look like shit at like 35. Eat good shit. Like real food. Real food! And even then, that real food is all fucked. Well, I could go into that way more in depth with big pharma and big food and all that shit, but I'm not going to because that's a whole nother video. So anyway, regardless, just start eating better food. And then exercise. What are you doing wrong, right? Well, I'm going to tell you. If you're not seeing results, you're not working hard enough. You're not pushing your threshold, okay? You need to be exerting, like, at least on your lifts, 8 to 9 RPE, which is, it's perceived rate of exertion. Rate of perceived exertion, RPE. So you should be hitting about like 8 to 9 on certain lifts. And then like doing a pulse, like pulsing with shit as well. Like you should be going to failure, like 2 reps in the gas tank, really. If you're starting out, like if not less. So that's important. And then, cardio, you should be breathing. You should be at zone 3 probably, zone 2 or zone 3 consistently for 30 minutes. That should be 2 to 3 times a week. You should be doing that with your lifting if you're trying to put on size. Like your workout routine, it'll slowly, if you're just kind of starting, if I'm being honest though, if you're just starting, it might be like 30 minutes, right? But use progressive overload, okay? Progressive overload counts for everything, right? Think of when you get into the gym, you're going to be starting progressive overload. Meaning, let's just start with time. Time is a great variant, okay? So we're going to start in 30 minutes, okay? I'm going to start in the gym for 30 minutes. I'm going to go up to 45 next week. The next week, I'm going to go maybe stay at 45 because I'm like, okay, I'm kind of good there. Maybe the next week, I'm going to go for an hour, okay? Now, within those 245 weeks, you need to increase in between, like within that workout. So you need to increase your speed, your time on the treadmill, or your speed on the treadmill, your incline on the treadmill, whatever variable that's going to make it a little bit harder. Okay, that's progressive overload. Now, weights as well. You should be increasing between 3 to 9% of whatever you're working, of whatever you're like lifting, okay? Progressive overload is so important in the gym. It's so important. Most people don't even realize how important it is. Progressive overload is everything. If you are not going up in weight, then you're plateauing, and there might be like, if you're just starting out, you shouldn't really be plateauing. There should be maybe there might be like a slow, there might be a point after like 5-6 months where you eventually hit a plateau and you're just consistent, but you're going to see results if you are pushing. You just have to fucking push. So with that being said, I hope that helped for people who are either skinny, fat, or normal and just trying to get into shape, and what you're doing wrong and why you're not seeing results in the gym for those main things that I covered. If you like this video, hit that like and subscribe. As always, I love you all and never stop improving. Peace.